Okay, so it's Tuesday, the following week from when I did my iron infusion. So I did it on the Friday. I've had the weekend, which I did work on, and I did work a night shift on Saturday because I felt okay. There was a sheet full of side effects and things that you could experience if I didn't feel great. I wasn't going to go in, but I felt okay. Again, it was a night shift, so I was hoping the clients were quiet, and sometimes that's a gamble, but it was a quiet night, so I was okay. I did rest on Sunday, but not as long as I normally would have. And Monday, I didn't feel too bad. Today, I've been a little bit tired, but they said it takes a few days to sort of really kick in and sort of give you an idea of how you're going to feel. Sorry, there's car lights going on here. I'm waiting for my son to get out of a hockey game, and there's people driving around. But I'm trying to update as I go, so this video might be a little chaotic and a little hard to watch, but if you're here and you're watching, thank you for stopping by. And if you've done an iron infusion, or if you have any tips and tricks on keeping your iron up. So I was a vegetarian for 20 something years. I started when I was 10 or 11. I did not like meat. Just the taste of it, the smell of it, it just turned me right off. And I heard that there was a thing called being a vegetarian. So I was like, Eureka, that's for me. So I actually stuck with it. My parents thought it would last a few days, but it lasted 23 or 4 years. I did eat a bit of meat when I was pregnant, because I had cravings that were crazy that I never had. And I really liked the smell of cooked chickens when I was expecting my first, which was a surprise. So I did try meat. If I'm desperate, I will eat meat if I'm traveling, mostly. Sometimes at home also if I'm desperate. Desperate just means I haven't been eating properly and I'm looking for protein. So I am vegetarian, but more vegan because just before I got diagnosed with celiac, I was diagnosed with a milk allergy. Not lactose, the milk protein, which is in everything. So there's no taking pills, there's no taking Lactaid or anything like that. It is the milk protein. So that cut out a lot of sources of protein that were quick and easy to grab on the go, like a chocolate milk and things like that. This was years ago when I was diagnosed. And then of course the celiac diagnosis came in, and then being vegetarian anyway, that just made it very restrictive for me. And I am not great at meal prepping, and I am not great at coming up with recipes where I use certain things to substitute for meat. I don't love beans. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't love beans. If you have good recipes, drop them in the comments, or drop me a link to a video of you make recipes or anything like that. I am going to work on my diet this year because I was just getting in the habit before Christmas too of grabbing yogurt and a granola bar and eating things like that before work, and just not really taking the time I needed to for my diet, my health. So I am going to start working on that this year. So that's the whole reason behind me sharing the celiac stuff, sharing the iron infusion stuff. So the first iron infusion I did, it was a strong dose apparently, according to the nurse that did the infusion. But I was closer again to needing a blood transfusion than almost an iron transfusion or an iron infusion. So I was really low, and I'm expecting, from what I hear, there hasn't been comments or anything on videos yet, but people that I've spoken to in person have said that some people they know that have done the infusions have required a second dose a few months later. So I'm going to go back in 4 weeks, retest my blood, and see if I need another dose. And I'm going to start working on the diet stuff to see if I can start adding in some whole foods, some proteins, and some iron rich foods to my diet. I'm going to try and get a probiotic that I take regularly. When I was first diagnosed with celiac, I was very religious with taking my probiotics, and I got away from that over the years. So I'm going to go back to it because I did find it very beneficial. I'm going to see about some supplements and things that I've heard about. Maybe try those. I'm going to be sharing again products that I've taken in the past that I'm going to take again that have helped me, and just everything in the journey that I'm going this year, which I was so hoping was going to start better than it is, but whatever. And then, yeah, I'm going to start getting into some of the making money online thing, and I'm going to share that stuff. I'm going to share stuff I do with the kids, and when I have their permission to share it, and stuff that we do as a family. But I'll also share the pets because they don't care. But I need to double check with kids as to what they're comfortable posting. Tenzin and Sophie have YouTube channels, so Gennon's a little more shy. So we'll see. I'm going to post some stuff. But I'm going to get into a little bit of everything this year, and I'm going to try and focus on it because I am currently working as an educational assistant. So I'm a developmental service worker. There's the car lights again. I have done that for years. I've done behavioral support. Well, that's just going to make an odd shadow on my face. Okay, we're going to move that. So I do that now 5 days a week. And that was so that I had my weekends off and I could take the kids to hockey throughout hockey season because I am in Canada and hockey is life. For us, it is everything. So I needed to be able to take the kids to hockey on the weekends and the evenings. There's just 3 kids in hockey and multiple practices because they're in competitive hockey, which means they practice twice a week and they play a couple of games on the weekends. So I had to switch to EA full days. And then I have also maintained being casual at my other job. Now the lighting is really bad. Which is, oh well, we're just going to have to lighten this up. Which is supporting people with developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities, various diagnoses in more of an independent living situation type things, group homes, that sort of thing in the community. So I work with people in that respect. And then I also still do the emotion code, which I will link up some of my channels. I have a channel on YouTube talking more about that if you're interested in it. It is technically classified as energy healing. I do it on myself, but it is draining whether you want to believe it or not. It's very draining because you're also talking to people. So while I'm not a therapist, you're talking to people about a lot of emotional trauma and things that they have been through. So that can take a lot out of you while you're also doing the energy work. Which is more like, I always say in the videos on that channel, more like hypnosis. So you connect to someone's subconscious and you're asking if they're carrying any emotional energy that they're still carrying as baggage, basically, that can be affecting them physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and so on from past experiences and traumas and things like that, and releasing those. And there's a whole lot more to it, but that's it in a nutshell. So I do those sessions. I book them sporadically throughout the week. I don't like to book them on the weekends, but I have been booking them on the weekends just to try and make ends meet. So the Making Money Online, I am going to get back into that once I'm feeling well enough to add one more thing to my list. As moms know, you have about 1 million things on your list. If you're like me anyways, but I want to get an alternative. So if I ever do find I have more health issues coming up, which hopefully won't be coming up because I'm going to be improving my health, right? So, but you never know what comes up in life. So unexpected things in life. So I'm going to, sorry, there's an animal running around out there. So I'm going to, I think it's like a cat or a raccoon. It's nothing dangerous, but I'm going to look for alternatives to income. So it's something I have dabbled in the past. I have talked about in the past. I had channels about in the past, but they were all linked to a company that is no longer working or running. So the information from the company, the courses that I took, this lighting is so bad now, is still valid, but it's not something that's available anymore specifically from that company. So I'm going to switch over and switch everything over. So I'm not going to share those videos. I'm just going to delete those old accounts, and I'm going to work on trying to find something that will work for me to create a side income, hopefully something that could replace my full income. And then I wouldn't be working 3 jobs. That would be great. And I will let you know how that goes, because it's not as easy as it's always made out to be. It's not as easy as it sounds. For a second, that looked like there was something in the back seat of the car. There isn't. Anyways, it's getting darker now, so I'm going to turn this off so that you're not looking at all these crazy shadows on my face. And I'm going to post, whether this video gets posted or not, I'm going to post, even if it's crappy to start with, and start working on that as I go. And I'm going to link up the dog's channel. The cat might be on his own channel or might have the channel. Tenzin's channel, he's going to start something new with calisthenics and working out, and Sophie stuff too. So if you're here, if you've stuck around, if you've liked, followed, subscribed, or anything, drop me a comment so I know who you are and where your channel is if you have one. Let me know if you have any experience with celiacs, iron infusions, or getting extra protein and iron in your diet, tips and tricks, recipes with beans, and all of the above. And hopefully I will see you around. You will stick around and we will share some more information and some more experiences together.